Coach, what steps did you see improvement from week 1 to week 2?
I thought the kids played really hard. I mean, we played hard. We're not always playing very smart. I mean, just too many details that are getting missed, and not being able to carry over um, what we're coaching to the field, being able to make an adjustment, being able to um, really execute it the way exactly how we want it to be executed. Our level of execution is inconsistent, and it hurts us. I mean, I look defensively, um, you know, and if we would have just taken care of us, I mean, yeah, we played against a good offense, but if we would have just taken care of us, we would have been, uh, I think the first half would have been totally different, and we would have been a lot different going into halftime. But we made some mistakes, um, and it hurt us. And that can't happen. A miscommunication or not identifying the formation the way it needs to be identified, or you need 11 guys on the same page. 11 guys, um, just not doing anything out of the ordinary, just doing what you're coached to do. And at times, I don't know whether it's lack of focus or getting caught up in the moment. I don't know. That's what we got to identify. And you always get to that level. You're always at that point a little bit early in the season, but it's happened too much, and we just got to keep getting better. And the same thing on offense. At times we're really good, and at times we just a missed technique up front, or blocking, identifying going to the wrong guy up front, going up to a linebacker that you're not supposed to go up to. Just the little things, they creep up and they hurt you, and they help take you out of drives, and you're not as efficient as you need to be. And um, that's we just got to keep driving home and keep working on it.
From a preparation standpoint, are the guys getting better at it?
Yeah, I thought our preparation was good. That's what was had me shaking my head. There wasn't a lot of, I mean, other than one motion that they gave us, they're all things that we talked about and did all week. We didn't we didn't necessarily carry over the coaching points to the game field, and that's we got to continue to. And my talk with them on Sunday is, I think when they watch the film, and I'm not taking anything to get away from West Virginia, they're a good football team, but I said, if we just took care of us and we just did it the way, approached it the way we needed to approach it, and executed the and took the fine coaching points and executed those coaching points, I think they, it was a great example for them to sit there and say, geez, like, where it's a realization of, geez, my attention to detail has to be better. And I always think that if you approach practice, when you approach practice, you got to approach it exactly like you do a game. And I'm not saying that we're not, but there's when certain mistakes that happen in, you got to get them corrected during the week, and you have to understand what those fine points are as far as how they relate to the game plan, and make sure that you are following through with it to a T. And when you don't, it hurts you.
The secondary had some issues early on. Not that area you guys been really good at during your tenure. Where are you seeing the biggest problems?
Well, we're green back there because for the sheer fact that we lost. We're mixing and matching, moving some guys around. Guys are different because we lost our top two safeties. The guys that we planned on being our starters going in, so we're a little bit green there. But last week was a lot different than the first week. I thought we played better this past weekend, but it was a totally different type of game plan. I mean, it was you know, it was different offense that we were playing and different issues, you know, than we saw the first week. And yeah, I saw some progress. You know, there was one where I was trying too hard. I put him in a tough position. I made a call that I was trying to hit a run. They threw 4 verticals, and you know that one's on me. But there were a couple things that, you know, for the most part, our guys were where they needed to be. They at times we got a little soft in our coverage. We didn't identify, you know, play the situation very well. So there's some things that we need to get better at. But overall, there was a little bit of a jump. Like I said, it was a totally different type of game plan than we had week 1.
Coach, you got on the 6:45 practice on Wednesdays now. Is that kind of help get everybody there?
It was actually, yeah, we like 6:30, 6:45. Yeah, I mean it's, you know, and you know that got kind of misrepresented. You know, somewhere along the line, somebody reported, I don't have any idea who, that we had guys skipping meetings and skipping practice. That doesn't happen. And I mean, what happens is guys have class conflicts. So if you have a class conflict, you might have a guy meeting at, you know, coming in for his meeting at 9:30 in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning, and especially happens on Wednesdays. So we had to fix it. That we had to change it, you know, because a lot of times these guys' schedules change early in the year, and you know it takes you a week to kind of figure out who's there and who's not going to be there. So we had to go to a early meeting on Wednesday, but we don't have guys that are just deciding not to come to meetings. If somebody decides not to come to meetings or practice, they're not on the football team anymore. I mean, that's handled, but I mean that kind of got misrepresented. I mean, I've had letters written to me over the last week, like, what kind of program are you running? Guys just are deciding not to come to meetings. Well, when they're not in meetings, they're in class. I mean, it's an issue that, you know, you deal with a little bit across the country. It's just a little bit, you know, it was more so this semester probably than since I've been here.
But you have all your players. I mean, you have all the players there.
It's 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, there are no classes that early. So, you know, and it's only once a week that we're doing that, and that's probably the way we're going to operate the rest of the season.
Coach, one of the guys had to step up with the injuries back in the secondary. Will Latham at nickel had a pick against West Virginia. What did you see for him? How did he step up so far?
I thought Will, you know, he's had a good fall camp, and he's played fairly good. He made some mistakes the other day that I think he'd want back, that related to the game plan. There was a lot on him in the game plan as far as, you know, I mean, let's face it, they're going to spread you out most of the game, and so there's a lot of pressure on the nickel as far as the detail, as far as what we were asking him to do. But he's getting better, and you know, he's done some good things for us.
Chris Pelini started at safety last week. He didn't have a pretty good game. What do you see out of him?
Made a few mistakes, but I thought overall Crispin, you know, he played hard, played fast, and you know, did a lot of good things. Made a lot of tackles, and I thought Crispin played well. And you know, we have a young man who transferred over from Central Michigan, who's only been here for a couple of weeks, but with all our injuries, you know, we had a guy, Jakar Jackson, who's going to be playing a little bit for us, and Avery Larkin played nicked up the other day. You know, his knee was bothering him, but he fought through it, and you know, we've taken some hits in the secondary, so we're you know, it's kind of all hands on deck, and we're a little bit green back there, but we're, you know, working through it, and we're starting to get some semblance of a rotation that you know, where, you know, we're not so limited in what we can call. Yeah, I think he's going to practice today. Yeah.
Jay Carter, when exactly did he arrive here?
Oh, probably just right as school started. Well, you know, with all our injuries, you know, with the 2 safeties being down, and he's a guy that kind of came across us. And we had a few guys that were after their fall camp that were looking to transfer because of whatever situation they were in, and he's the one we settled on, and we got him into school really quickly, and because we at the time I think we had 4 safeties down, I believe at the time, so the 2 that are out for the year, and then we had 2 other guys that weren't practicing. So I mean, we were real fortunate that Jakar fell in our lap.
Can you tell us about Valpo and offensively, defensively, what they bring
They're kind of all over the place defensively. A lot of multiple fronts, and mainly a single high team, but not all the time. But they're they're pretty multiple defensively as far, especially front wise. You see them kind of lined up all over the place, and um, you know, I would say a little bit more of a cover 3 team, um, but they do a nice job on defense, and they try to confuse you and give you multiple looks, and um, so you got to be prepared for that. Offensively, they're uh, I would say they're a little bit of mainly spread, a little bit of 2 tight end stuff. They'll run multiple quarterbacks in there, which I haven't really been quite figured out yet. As far as, I mean, you'll see multiple guys in there quarterback at times. Like some guys that are more guys that are going to run. They have a bigger kid who isn't as much of a runner, but he's more of a thrower for them. They'll jump in and out of Wildcat, at least that last year, because we've only seen them play 1 game this year, and then and you start looking at their stuff from last year. They had some different personnel, so you got to be ready to adjust according to what they choose to do against us. I have no idea.
How much is the importance of Saturday in terms of getting this football team a win and building some momentum heading into conference?
Yeah, we just it's a process. I've been through this for a long time, and you stay with the process, and every single day you got to get better, and we just got to keep growing as a football team and start getting more efficient, more accountable, more disciplined. Our execution just got to that's an ongoing process each and every day, and at time I see the potential still with this football team. There's really good potential, and but we got to keep getting better. It's an everyday thing. The learning's got to continue. The attention to details got to continue, and I'm more worried about us than what our opponent's going to do, and that's. I mean, and obviously, when I say that, we're building our game plans against the particular team that we're playing, and our level, our standard of execution's got to go up as far as being able to follow through with what we're trying to get done on a week to week basis. And if we do, that's just that process they'll take us right into league play. We'll have a week off next week after this game, and that'll give us an extra week to get ready for league play, and then that's kind of when it starts. I mean, it's to me it comes down to league play, and that's what you're kind of shooting for.
To what degree do you see the communications problems or some of the deficiencies in those areas you just mentioned? To what degree do you see those in practice? Is it mostly for a game?
You see some in practice, but there are some things. That's what kind of gets you shaking your head sometimes. Is sometimes you see a guy who, like, we didn't do that in practice. Like, where is that showing up now? Why is that showing up in the game? And and that's part of it. I mean, I spent 15 or 20 minutes with one young man the other day saying, who's a great kid, works his butt off, but he had multiple episodes of it during the game, and I was like, I'm trying to, you need to help me figure out why this is happening to you, and because sometimes he was shaking his head like, I can't believe I did that. And it's like, well, let's think back, like why did that happen, and so every situation's a little bit different. every kid. As far as you have to address it. It's about teaching. That's what it comes down to, and it's sometimes a bad experience. Or somebody is not having the success they want, or is making multiple mistakes, and you got to help as a coach try to help figure out why that's happening and get it corrected. And every situation happens a little bit different. What's their level of understanding? But you find yourself shaking your head sometimes trying to figure out how that's happening when they do it okay during the week, and all of a sudden they get in the game, and for some reason there's a disconnect, like when the lights come on. And part of that, I believe, is if you got to put we try to put them in stressful situations in practice. Obviously it's not going to be as stressful as when you go in front of 60,000 people. Yeah, it's an ongoing thing. This has been happening. I mean, I've been coaching for a long time, and it's always it's an ongoing thing. You got to protect it, and you got to coach it, and keep coaching it, and make sure that their level of understanding keeps getting better and better.